Jazz Fun at Jazz Ahead 2025. With me here is Hervé Samb.
Perfect.
Bienvenue. Welcome.
Thank you, Sarah.
You will be performing here with your band Teranga.
Yes.
And you're from Senegal. Maybe you can say what Teranga is about.
Okay, Teranga band. Teranga it's mean hospitality. So this is a value really important in Senegal. Like when you look at our soccer team, we call it Le Lion de la Teranga, like the lion of the Teranga. So the hospitality is a value that really close, very important for our culture as Senegalese. So, and then when we create this Teranga band, we created actually because we pushed a style of jazz that we call jazz Sabar, which is like a jazz that meeting the percussion of Senegal. Mm-hmm. So it's like the percussion, the tradition of Senegal is inviting jazz. So that's why it's like all this idea of hospitality. And this is something we want to create also on stage, this environment of hospitality where people feel like they're home. So it's completely a view of to be open to all the culture and to embrace the world.
Now you're a person, you're a guitar player first of all, and you have moved to France some 25, 26 years ago.
Like that. Yes. I came to France when I was 19 in 1998. And it was, in the beginning I wanted to go to Berkeley, I wanted to go learn jazz in New York, but finally life made that I came to Paris. Especially Paris, Paris is a very amazing place for melting pot. And for me, it was the perfect environment for me. So I could be able to exchange with and play and learn so much music and so much style from all over the world. And so that's the music and that's the magic of Paris. So I moved to Paris and I met all these musicians from all over the world, from the States, from India, from all over Africa, North Africa, anywhere, England. And then I started to have this idea of coming with this Senegalese jazz because I was always asking a question, me as a young African coming from Senegal, what I'm really entitled to do. Because I was playing jazz and blues, but am I entitled really to play jazz? Because it's not really my culture. I have to find a way. And then after 3-4 albums, this idea come.
So now you said you were in France, in Paris, you were in the States, and you made a lot of contacts there. And people kind of seemed to have checked you out, and they wanted you to play with them, right?
Yeah,
so who was among those people?
Oh, I mean, all of them. I was so lucky, because I started to tour all over the world. I was 20 years old. I started to tour with African bands, from Mali. My first world tour was with Amadine Mariam. And then at 23 years old, I was touring with David Murray. So I go from African Mali to avant-garde jazz, which was amazing. So David took me in this, like his son, and he pushed me. We toured for 4 years all over the world, and it was the best school I could ever have. And then I have, sorry, I have my phone. And then I have met people from New York through David. I met Michel Ngoicello. Then I met Marcus Müller. I met all these people. So I was between New York and Paris. So I basically become pretty much a citizen of the world, So I think I was very lucky.
And David Murray himself, he's like going forth and back because he's in Paris and he's in the States, right?
Yes. That was the connection. He was in Paris and that he see me and we play and say, "Oh, young boy, I'll call you one day." That was in 2000. Oh man, it's a long time ago, 2003. And then like you too, he called me and then he just sent me on the stage with all those masters, and that was the beginning of the school with him. I learned a lot. I learned so much playing with him.
I think I've heard you with Lisa Simone, and
yes.
you did her album All Is Well, right?
Yes, I did. We co-write 3 records, me and her. I produced the 2 first one. Lisa is just a continuation of things, of collaborations. She was. We still collaborate actually. It's became, all this collaboration became now families. It's like even when we don't play, we're still very close.
The specialty of your playing, I mean, there's something in it that kind of is typical for Western African style, guitar style. And maybe you can tell us about some of the most important bands in your country that you kind of socialized with.
Get inspired too? Well, I mean, it's very interesting because as a young boy, my mentor was this person. I'd say was because he passed away. His name was Pierre Van Normal. He was he coming from Belgium, but one of the first European that coming to Berkeley. So I grew up listening and knowing African music, Senegalese music, because I was inside. But I think the particularity and the chance that I have is that I met someone very early that make me discover also jazz, make me discover also classical music, make me do so avant-garde. So I think those artists, they see in me the fact that they could do this crossover. Most of this project, I was the middle guy that was doing the crossover between USA and Africa, or between USA and Martinique, between USA or between Europe. So, because they knew they could converse with me artistically, we could talk harmonic music, and also I could translate what they say to people that don't talk the music the same way, So I think I was like the middle guy, and of course, and they felt like they could go anywhere with me. They could go to more jazz or more exotic African sounds. They don't have no limit with me. So that was, I think, my interest, their interest, I guess.
Have you met saxophone player Jacques Schwarzbart?
Yeah. Jacques and I, we record one album, I think. We record one album, and then we two albums. Yeah, Jacques, yes, amazing. And yeah, this is another example because Jacques was doing this jazz. He's doing this jazz where he's mixture jazz and ka. So and then we call that jazz ka. Ka is that percussion coming from Guadeloupe. So and actually playing with Caribbean jazz really inspired me to come up with jazz Sabar. So jazz ka, jazz Sabar, which is like percussion from Senegal. So it was very. I think that's where I kind of like get inspired, and then I went to see my friends in Senegal, and then we started this movement of jazz Sabar.
What is typical for this kind of jazz Sabar? I mean, you said percussions,
yes.
But the rhythmic
yes.
aspect.
Yes, actually, it's very how to say, it's very typical in the way of. This is really the roots, the Senegalese roots. The Sabar, which is a percussion that you play with stick, it's very something that you only find in Senegal. And then maybe you can have the djembe that you can have in many countries in Senegal. You can have others, bugarabu, all those type of drums that you can find in different countries. But the Sabar, strangely, it's just in Senegal. It's just from 2 or 3 ethnic, and it became very powerful. It became the instrument that will follow all the social events in that anything, marriage, baptisms, death, everything is always here. And then and I figured out that if we need to do a Senegalese jazz, that's maybe the typical Senegalese jazz, that's maybe the percussion we need to use. And it's very interesting because when all the percussions started to play the Sabar, and they don't speak the language, they don't speak the language which is the Wolof, for example, it doesn't sound the same. So it's very, you have also the sense of language that really come on those rhythms. And that's why in my band, in Teranga band, I choose the way to play only with Senegalese that understand this language, so we can really deliver the really typical sound from the Sabar also with the jazz.
What are you going to present to the audience here at Jazz Ahead tonight?
Yes, so we're going to present obviously the jazz Sabar. It's going to be very groovy, very happy. It's a happy music, and you will see all this really nice blending, and there's also a lot of poetry. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
Who did you bring?
I bring the best. Teranga band. It's for me the best Senegalese musician you can find around, and you have the bass player. The bass player name is Sambala Benjai, amazing bass player, incredible. We have Sheikh Dialog, pianist. He was a pianist that do concerts, classical concerts, and also jazz, and he played the kora, and then he sing. He's like one of those genius guy, And then I bring also the drummer. His name is Makodou Njai, amazing drummer. He plays with everybody, all the big names in Senegal. He's the guy they call to play with when they tour all over in Europe. And then the percussion player we have, it's amazing. He's the grandson. Listen to this. He's the grandson of Doudou Ndiaye Rose. Doudou Ndiaye Rose is maybe the world-renowned percussion player who play the Sabar, but he was playing big band Sabar, like they were like 300 Sabar play on the road. It's amazing. It's something. If you don't know Doudou Ndiaye Rose, please go online and see it. It's absolutely impressive. So his grandson is playing in the band. So he is just a genius. so that's like that. That's the team for tonight. 5 musicians on stage.
Hervé Samb and Teranga. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Merci infiniment.